Welcome to Learn with Safi.
JDBC interview questions and answers.
What is JDBC? JDBC is a Java API that is used to connect and execute the query to the database. JDBC API uses JDBC drivers to connect to the database. JDBC API can be used to access tabular data stored into any relational database. What is JDBC Driver? JDBC Driver is a software component that enables Java application to interact with the database. There are 4 types of JDBC drivers. JDBC ODBC Bridge Driver. The JDBC ODBC Bridge Driver uses the ODBC driver to connect to the database. The JDBC ODBC Bridge Driver converts JDBC method calls into the ODBC function calls. Native API Driver, partially Java Driver. The native API driver uses the client-side libraries of the database. The driver converts JDBC method calls into native calls of the database API. It is not written entirely in Java. Its performance is better than JDBC ODBC Bridge Driver. However, the native driver must be installed on each client machine. Network Protocol Driver, fully Java Driver. The Network Protocol Driver uses middleware that converts JDBC calls directly or indirectly into the vendor-specific database protocol. It is entirely written in Java. There is no requirement of the client-side library because of the application server that can perform many tasks like auditing, load balancing, logging, etc. Thin Driver, fully Java Driver. The Thin Driver converts JDBC calls directly into the vendor-specific database protocol. That is why it is known as the Thin Driver. It is entirely written in Java language. Its performance is better than all other drivers, however these drivers depend upon the database. What are the steps to connect to the database in Java? The following steps are used in database connectivity. Registering the driver class. The forName method of the class is used to register the driver class. This method is used to load the driver class dynamically. Consider the following example to register Oracle driver class. Creating connection. The getConnection method of DriverManager class is used to establish the connection with the database. The syntax of the getConnection method is given below. Creating the statement. The createStatement method of connection interface is used to create the statement. The object of the statement is responsible for executing queries with the database. Executing the queries. The executeQuery method of statement interface is used to execute queries to the database. This method returns the object of ResultSet that can be used to get all the records of a table. Syntax of executeQuery method is given below. However, to perform the insert and update operations in the database, executeUpdate method is used, which returns the Boolean value to indicate the successful completion of the operation. Closing connection. By closing connection, object statement and ResultSet will be closed automatically. The close method of connection interface is used to close the connection. Syntax of close method is given below. What are the JDBC API components? The java.sql package contains following interfaces and classes for JDBC API. Interfaces. Connection. The connection object is created by using getConnection method of DriverManager class. DriverManager is the factory for connection. Statement. The statement object is created by using createStatement method of connection class. The connection interface is the factory for statement. Prepared statement. The prepare statement object is created by using prepare statement method of connection class. It is used to execute the parameterized query. ResultSet. The object of ResultSet maintains a cursor pointing to a row of a table. Initially, cursor points before the first row. The executeQuery method of statement interface returns the ResultSet object. ResultSet metadata. The object of ResultSet metadata interface contains the information about the data table, such as number of columns, column name, column type, etc. The getMetadata method of ResultSet returns the object of ResultSet metadata. Database metadata. Database metadata interface provides methods to get metadata of a database such as the database product name, database product version, driver name, name of the total number of tables, the name of the total number of views, etc. The getMetadata method of connection interface returns the object of database metadata. Callable statement. Callable statement interface is used to call the stored procedures and functions. We can have business logic on the database through the use of stored procedures and functions that will make the performance better because these are pre-compiled. The prepare call method of connection interface returns the instance of callable statement. Classes. DriverManager. The DriverManager class acts as an interface between the user and drivers. It keeps track of the drivers that are available and handles establishing a connection between a database and the appropriate driver. It contains several methods to keep the interaction between the user and drivers. Clob. Clob stands for Character Large Object. It is a data type that is used by various database management systems to store character files. It is similar to Blob except for the difference that Blob represent binary data such as images, audio and video files, etc. Whereas Clob represents character stream data such as character files, etc. SQL exception. It is an exception class which provides information on database access errors. What are the JDBC statements? In JDBC, statements are used to send SQL commands to the database and receive data from the database. There are various methods provided by JDBC statements such as execute, executeUpdate, executeQuery, etc., which helps you to interact with the database. There are three types of JDBC statements. Statement. Statement is the factory for ResultSet. It is used for general-purpose access to the database. It executes a static SQL query at runtime. Prepared statement. The prepared statement is used when we need to provide input parameters to the query at runtime. Callable statement. Callable statement is used when we need to access the database stored procedures. It can also accept runtime parameters. What is the return type of class.forName method? The class.forName method returns the object of java.lang.classObject. How can we set null value in JDBC prepared statement? By using setNull method of prepared statement interface, we can set the null value to an index. The syntax of the method is given below. What are the benefits of prepared statement over statement? The benefits of using prepared statement over statement interface is given below. The prepared statement performs faster as compared to statement because the statement needs to be compiled every time we run the code, whereas the prepared statement compiled once and then execute only on runtime. prepared statement can execute parameterized query whereas statement can only run static queries. The query used in prepared statement is appeared to be similar every time. Therefore, the database can reuse the previous access plan whereas statement inline the parameters into the string. Therefore, the query doesn't appear to be same every time, which prevents cache reusage. What are the different types of ResultSet? ResultSet is categorized by the direction of the reading head and sensitivity or insensitivity of the result provided by it. There are three general types of ResultSet. ResultSet type forward only, the cursor can move in the forward direction only. ResultSet.type scroll insensitive, the cursor can move in both the direction, forward and backward. The ResultSet is not sensitive to the changes made by the others to the database. ResultSet.type scroll sensitive, the cursor can move in both the direction. The ResultSet is sensitive to the changes made by the others to the database. What is the role of the JDBC DriverManager class? The DriverManager class acts as an interface between user and drivers. It keeps track of the drivers that are available and handles establishing a connection between a database and the appropriate driver. The DriverManager class maintains a list of driver classes that have registered themselves by calling the method DriverManager.registerDriver. What does the JDBC ResultSet interface? The ResultSet object represents a row of a table. It can be used to change the cursor pointer and get the information from the database. By default, ResultSet object can move in the forward direction only and is not updatable. However, we can make this object to move the forward and backward direction by passing either type scroll insensitive or type scroll sensitive in createStatement, int method. What does the JDBC ResultSet metadata interface? The ResultSet metadata interface returns the information of tables such as the total number of columns, column name, column type, etc. What does the JDBC database metadata interface? The database metadata interface returns the information of the database such as username, driver name, driver version, number of tables, number of views, etc. Which interface is responsible for transaction management in JDBC? The connection interface provides methods for transaction management such as commit, rollback, etc. What are the functions of the JDBC connection interface? The connection interface maintains a session with the database. It can be used for transaction management. It provides factory methods that return the instance of statement, prepared statement, callable statement, and database metadata. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell.